Ma'am, you are on the live screen. You may start.
Okay. Good evening, all, and sorry for the delay starting because of some technical issue. So once again, good evening, very good evening to all. Today we are going to start Tally. In this session, we will learn the Tally, introduction of the Tally, and what is the basically the Tally is used for. So before starting, I am going to share my screen. So just check whether it is visible or not. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, is it visible? Hello? Ma'am, my screen is visible. Okay, so we are going to start today. We are going to start the Tally session. I'm sure it's not visible, so just please give me some time. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to start the Tally. Basically, what is Tally? Everybody knows it, the name with tally.erp9. But now exactly it is not a tally.erp9. It is now the new version introduced, that is Tally Prime. But again, before understanding the names or the version, whatever, we should understand what kind of software it is. Tally is an accounting software which solve all the kinds of accounting problem as well as the inventory as well as the taxation. When the Tally introduced, then they first introduced the Tally 4.0. Tally introduced by the Mr. Bharat Goenka. He is the developer of the Tally, and Tally uses the language that is known as TDL language, that is Tally data language. Okay. Now, when Tally introduced, then when the first version introduced, it solved only our accounting problem. Accounting problem means what? Like what kind of amount, what kind of transaction like we are doing, like we are purchasing or we are sales or receiving receipt or payment only. But still inventory problem was there. Like we cannot maintain the inventory, like we cannot maintain the opening stock, we cannot calculate the closing stock within a Tally. So after that they introduced the Tally 5.4, the newer version of Tally, that was the Tally 5.4. But the problem, some problem was there in the Tally 5.4. Locking was not there. Locking means software lock, like we have to put the password, otherwise unless until the passwords are not there in our any kind of file, then anybody can enter the data. And in terms of Tally, anybody can enter the entry. So again they introduced the Tally 7.2. At that time the VAT was introduced, that is value added tax, and they introduced the Tally 7.2 with the locking and VAT taxation problem, and so on. 8.1 again they introduced, and in a 8.1 multilingual package was there. Tally multi-language, Tally supported the multi-language Hindi, English as well as the Urdu, Gujarati, Punjabi and so on. Then afterward a drastic change was there, that is Tally.erp9. Why it is known as ERP? Because Tally solve our accounting as well as the inventory as well as the taxation, and also they gives us the remote feature, that is also known as the Tally.net feature. Now what is remote feature? For example, suppose I am sitting in my home and I want to enter the entry in my tally, which is installed on the server, and any kind from anywhere I can enter the tally so that my reports will be generated automatically. So tally.erp9 introduced one new feature, that is tally.net, and now the tally prime. Now the newer version is tally prime. So these are the versions which introduced by the Tally Solution. Now the company name is Tally Solution. Before that, when they introduced the Tally, the name was the Petronix Private Limited. The company name was the Petronix Private Limited, and the owner is Mr. Bharat Goenka. He is a software developer and he introduced this software, that is Tally.erp9, and this software is a very good software which solves our complete accounting problems. Like for example, everybody who are attending the seminar or who are listening the session, my session carefully, I'm sure all of you are having the commerce background. So you know what is debit and what is the credit, and you know all the accounting trail. Now what is accounting trail? Accounting trail means we have to first pass the general, then voucher, then all the balances should be generated by the ledgers, and all the closing balance of the ledgers should be transferred to the trial balance, and after trial balance we have to create the trading account, P&L account, and balance sheet, and so many books. So this is known as trail, accounting trail, but all this kind of accounting trail managed by the Tally itself. But the thing is that the main thing is, if we pass the vouchers in a correct way, then it will generate all the reports automatically. So it automate our task. Only we need to pass the general entries. There will be no trail, like no accounting trail will be there. Like first you have to pass the general entry. After that, you have to create the ledgers, and after that you have to calculate the closing balance, and then closing balance will be shifted to the trial balance, and with the trial balance, with the help of trial balance, you have to create the final accounts like trading account, P&L account, and balance sheet. But there is no need to create all these kinds of reports if you are using the Tally, because Tally is an accounting software which solves all kind of this problem. So now the thing is that Tally comes in basically when you want to purchase the Tally license, then Tally comes in two ways. The first is a silver edition and second is a gold edition. Now what is the silver edition? What is a gold edition? So I'm sure everybody knows what is a client server technology. Client server technology means what? If you want to save the data on the server and you want to extract the data from anywhere, then they are known as client. And only one server is there, one server will be there, and rest will be known as a client. So this is known as a client server technology. This is somehow like presently you are listening my lecture or you are attending my seminar. So in this way, who is our server? Our server is Team. That is my Microsoft Team. That is our server. Our ICMAI. That is our server. And we both are the client. You and me both are the client. So this is known as a client server technology. So if you want to use the client server technology in accounting also, then you have to purchase or you have to take the license of the Tally Gold. And if you want to enter the entries in a standalone machine and in the same system you want to extract the report, so in that case you have to take the silver edition. So silver edition means for the single user it is silver edition, and for the multi-user you have to take the license of the gold edition. One again edition is there, that is the auditor edition, auditor version. In an auditor, so what is the difference between the normal client and the auditor? The difference between the normal client and the auditor is normal client can enter the entry and can alter the entry, but auditor or like whatever our work is, we cannot enter the entry or we cannot alter the entry. Only we need to check the entry. So in that case, you have to take the auditor version. So these are the different versions available in Tally. The first is silver edition, the second is gold edition, and third is auditor edition. Now what is the difference? Please make sure that you are aware with the all three editions, and you can differentiate within three editions. Like first edition for the standalone machine, like suppose if I want to enter the entry and I want to manage all the kinds of accounts. So for the standalone machine, I want to install the Tally. But if we want to use the client server technology, I am having one server and I want to store the data on the server so that I can extract the data from anywhere, right? So that is known as client server technology. And the third is auditor version. And if you are taking the auditor version, so in an auditor version, you cannot enter the entry or you cannot alter the entry. You cannot modify the data. You only have to check the data. Okay, so these are the different versions of the Tally. And one thing is a very important in a Tally. Tally provides us the education version also. And education version is a very good for the learning purpose. Education version is a very good for the learning purpose. You have to search, you have to open the tallysolution.com, and from the tallysolution.com you can install the Tally. And which version you want to install? You want to install the Tally Prime, because Tally Prime is the latest version of the Tally. So if you want to install the Tally Prime, so just open the search on the Google, write the tallysolution.com. It will directly take you on the tallysolution.com. Then on the tallysolution.com, there is a one section that is a download section. And from the download section, you can download the Tally Prime. And after installing the Tally Prime, if you are not taking the license, then you can use it in a educational mode. Now, what is educational mode? In a educational mode, you can maintain all kinds of accounts like whatever Tally maintaining. Only the restriction is dates. You cannot enter the dates like 1, 2 and 31st. Only it accepts the entries of the first day of the month, second day of the month and 31st day of the month. Rest day will not be accepted unless until you are not taking the license. So for that you have to take the license. Even in the educational mode, you can pass the entries of GST also. You can pass the entries of the TDS also. And all the like forms, everything will be generated automatically in the Tally educational version also. Within a Tally, you can file the TDS returns also. From the Tally, you can file the TDS returns, you can file the GST returns, everything. So this is the some basic introduction of Tally. So Tally Prime is a very fast and the most powerful concurrent multilingual. From 8.1, it introduced the multilingual feature. Multilingual means it supports multiple languages like Hindi, English, Gujarati, Urdu, Punjabi. So whatever language suits to you, you can enter the entry in that language. Okay, so this is the first screen of the Tally. Now I'm going to tell you how can you install the Tally. Just open the Google Chrome. Okay, now type here the tallysolution.com. Solution.com, and from here you can download the Tally also. Okay, I'm going to tell you, see, this is not a privacy issue, so you can take the from Google, you can take the download Tally Prime. Okay, so you should download the Tally Prime, and afterward the first screen, which is the Tally, I'm going to show you the Tally first screen. This will be the first screen. Say I'm starting the Tally. This is the starting of the Tally. And I'm having the version of Tally Prime. Okay, so okay, it is starting the tally. Now tally is starting. Fine. So this is the first screen. See, in a first screen, you can check continue in educational mode, use the license from network, reactivating existing license. Suppose your license is deactivated because of the subscription, your license is deactivated. So you can reactivate from this screen also. And if you are purchasing a new, you are activating a new license, then you can activate new license from here also. So presently, as I told earlier, presently I am going to open in a educational mode. This is the, it is giving me the option. You have to open a new company. So from here, I can create a new company. Okay. This is the first screen after starting the tally. See, all of you aware, if you want to enter the accounts, if you want to enter the entry, then the first step, that is in a tally you should perform, that is the creating a company. In a tally, first step, that is a creating a company. So while creating a company, if you are pressing the create a company, so just click here over here, create a company. This screen is now the first screen after selecting the create a company. This is the first screen which you are getting. Now this is the company data path. Company data path, where you want to store your company, where you want to store the data of your company. Tally always stores its data in an encrypted mode. Tally always stored its data in its encrypted mode. Now please make sure you are listening carefully. What is encryption or what is decryption? What is encrypted mode? Basically, if we save the file of Excel file, if we save a file which is created using the Excel, and after saving it, where you saved it, you can double click and reopen it again. Again, please listen carefully. If you save the, if you create the file using the MS Excel, you save the file and you open it directly, just double click. The double click it and you can open it. But in the tally, you cannot open in this way. That's mean what? After like saving the company, you cannot open the company from the location. Please listen. When you create the company and you save the company, and then you cannot reopen or you cannot open the company from this location. For that, if you want to open the company, for that you have to open the tally itself. Okay, you have to select the company. For example, I'm giving you the one example. For example, suppose I stored my tally company CE user public tally prime, and I create here one folder. I can create the folder from here itself. For example, I'm going to create a folder directly to the C. Okay, directly to the C drive. ICMAI. I am going to create a one folder /tally data. I don't have this folder, but now I'm going to create this folder. Press enter. Fine. This is my. Okay. It will create the folders. Okay. It gives me the message. Do you want to create the folder? Because you don't have the folder of this name. So you wish to create the folder. So just click yes, then it will create the folder. Now it created the folder. If you wish, then you can check your drive, then it creates your folder. Now just specify the company name, whatever you want. For example, I'm going to create a first company. Now what is the difference between mailing name and company name? This is the first screen from where you can create the company. While creating the company, this screen you will get. Okay. Now first you assign the company name. After that, there is an option of mailing name. So what is the mailing name? What is the difference between mailing name and company name? The difference between the mailing name and company name is what the mailing name will be printed on your reports. Mailing name will be printed on your reports. So you can differentiate with, you can give the different between you can give the different name to the company name in the mailing name. Mailing name should be that only which you want to print it on your reports. But here I am going to give the same. Company name and mailing name will be the same. Now address, I should specify the address 5 and then enter second line of the and then state. In which state your company is working. So make sure just while like selecting the state, make sure you are entering the correct state. If you are not entering the correct state, then in a general entry, no problem will be there. But while entering the taxation data, you will face the problem because every state, every state, that like rates are different and so many things are different. So while entering the taxation data, you will face the problem. So make sure you are entering the correct state. Okay. Now PIN code. Just I am assigning the PIN code, telephone number. Enter. Now mobile number. It can be same. Okay. Now fax, you can leave it blank. Email, you can leave it blank. Otherwise, you have to provide. It's optional field. Now, optional means what? You can leave it blank. It is not necessary to write this to fulfill this field. Only the necessary fields are company data path, company name, right? And address. Again, it is not necessary. You can leave it blank. You can again leave it website. You can leave it blank. Now period. While selecting or entering the financial year, make sure you are entering the financial correct. Now what is the financial year? Financial year are April to March and current financial year is running, that is April 23 to March 24. Students, listen carefully. You have not to mention the ending of the financial year. Only you have to mention the beginning of the financial year. There is no field to end the financial year because while starting the company, after starting the company will not end in this year. Only financial year will end. Then next financial year we can set while entering the data in the company. Books beginning from. Now what is the difference between books beginning from? See, our financial year is always starts from April and ends by March. But it is not necessary to books starts from April. You can start the books from August. You can start from in the mid of the month or in the mid of the quarter or anywhere. So you can start from books from any month like January, February, March, April or any date. But as I told you earlier while giving the presentation, educational mode will not support the difference date apart from the 1st, 2nd and 31st. Suppose I am entering here the 15th May, then it will not support. See, it is not pressing the enter. Fine. -05, it is not pressing the enter. Why? Because I am using the educational mode. And in a educational mode, the tally only supports the date 1st, 2nd and 31st. Suppose I am entering here 01-05, enter. Then now it is supporting. It should be 23. Okay. By default, it is taking 22, 23, enter. Now it is supporting. So I see what is the difference between financial year. Suppose I put it here the financial year April to March. Okay. Now it's correct. So books beginning from 1st May 23. So we cannot pass the entry of the 1st April because my books are beginning from 1st May 23. So make sure that you can differentiate between the financial year beginning from and books beginning from. Presently, I am giving here same date. -23. 1st April. My financial year starts from April 23 and my books is also start from. That's mean what? I'm going to start my company. I already start my company because presently the December is going on. So like just for the like example, I am going to start the company April 23, or you can mention here the December or January 24. So if you are mentioning here the books beginning from January 24, then you can only enter the entry from 1st January. You cannot enter the backdate entry. Okay, so make sure this is clear. Okay, fine. Now after like completing all the fields, press Ctrl A. Ctrl A is a shortcut key to save the company. Ctrl A is a shortcut key to save the company. It is saving my company. The processing is going on. Okay, now this is what? This is again the screen that is for company features. This is again the screen for company features. As in the introduction part, I told you, first Tele introduced the previous versions like 4 and 5. Previous version was 4 and 5. In a 4 and 5, Tele only supports the accounting. Tele was only supports the accounts, not inventory. But now after like for 5.4, on 5.4 onwards, Tele supports the accounts as well as the inventory. That's mean we can manage the inventories also. So here, please listen. Here the features are giving accounting, maintain accounts. Suppose you don't want to maintain the inventory. So just set it the inventory no. Just set it the inventory no. And you only want to maintain the accounts, either accounts or inventory. Either accounts or inventory. So either account set it yes, or inventory set it as, or both you can set. Okay. So enable bill wise entry. Now what is the bill wise entry? You have to assign the bill number also. So that is the bill wise entry. Okay. So these are the feature in the later sessions. In the later sessions, we'll understand all kind of features. But presently only we understand the, we are going to understand the maintain accounts only and enable bill wise entry. Now after this again you have to press Ctrl A. Whatever the changes you have done, it will save if you are pressing the Ctrl A. If you are not pressing the Ctrl A, then you have to press enter, enter, enter. Otherwise, for the save, you have to press only the enter. Now I created one folder and I saved my Tele in that folder. So please check. I am going to open that folder C. In a C drive, I created ICMAI and then Tele data. This is the folder which Tele created. I didn't created it. Tele created my this folder, and in this folder Tele saved one folder, the name of 10,000. See the time, please check the time, 12th December 7.724, recent time. I created my Tele company. This is my Tele company. I told you earlier, na, when the Tele saved the data, then Tele saved its data in encrypted mode. What is encrypted mode? You cannot open directly from here. You cannot open the Tele company from here. This is known as encrypted mode. Encryption means unreadable format. Encryption means unreadable format. And if you want to open the Tele, then you have to select the company in Tele software itself. You cannot open the directly company from here. Okay. For that you have to select company. And from where you have to select the company? See, there is an option. Then whatever the keys having the underline, it will work with the Alt K. Alt K is a shortcut key to open the company menu. See, Alt K. And suppose you want to open the data menu, then Alt Y. So whatever the keys that are having the, whatever the letter you can say, whatever the letter having the underlines, that will work with the Alt key. Alt C. Hello. Okay. So Alt C, Alt Y, Alt Z, Alt G. It is a shortcut key. They all are the shortcut key. Okay. So Alter, with the help of Alter, you can press the Alt K. Alt K is a shortcut key for the company. Alt Y is a shortcut key for the data. So this is the way, this is the basic way to work with the Tally. Fine. Fine. After selecting the company, when you select the company, then the first screen is Gateway of Tally. Please listen carefully. The first screen after creating the Tally company or after selecting the company, the first screen always be the Gateway of Tally. And in a Gateway of Tally, there is an option of create, alter, chart of accounts, vouchers, daybook, banking, balance sheet, P&L, ratio analysis, display more records. So what is to create? The first menu is masters. Please listen. That is masters. The first menu is masters. Now in a master, there are three options: create, alter and chart of accounts. Now what is create? Now what is create? Just click on that. You can check accounting master as well as the statutory masters. Remember, after creating the company in the features, I set no to the maintain inventories. So that's why it is only giving me the accounting master. See, again I am pressing F11. Like for the features, you can press the F11. F11 is a shortcut key again to switch on the company features. So I am setting here inventory, maintain inventory, yes, and press Ctrl A. Now you can check. After selecting the create, you will get the accounting master, inventory master and statutory details. Again, I am pressing the F11 key. Suppose I am setting taxation feature, that is GST. By default, it is yes. I am setting no. Control A. Then please check. Now I am having only two masters, main two masters, accounting and inventory, and is in a statutory only PAN details are there. No taxation features are there. So according to the features, whatever you are setting yes or no, you will get the masters. Now first, one by one, we will understand the accounting master groups, right? Accounting master group. Now what is group? What is group? See, in a Tally, by default 28 groups are there. We can check chart of accounts. We can check chart of accounts groups. So 28 groups are there. So what is groups? As per the accounting standards, whatever has appeared in our trading P&L and balance sheet, they are known as groups. For example, in a trading account, stock account always be there. So here is a stock in it. And then purchase account is there. Then here is a purchase account. So these are the masters. These are known as masters, and under master these are known as groups. Now what is a group? Whatever the headings, whatever the accounting standards are there for the final accounts. A is na, you know na, A is accounting standard. So whatever the accounting standards for the trading P&L balance sheet we are having, so that are known as groups. So by default 28 groups are there. 13 are main and 15 are subheads. Main means for example current assets is main, but bank accounts, cash in hand, deposit, loans and advances, stock in hand, sundry debtors, these are the subheads. Okay, so 13s are main and 15s are subheads. So total 28 groups are there. Total 28 groups are there, but we can create our own groups, and n number of groups you can create. N number of groups you can create. Same thing is a ledger. Now what is ledger? Ledgers are varies according to the company to company. ledgers are always be vary according to the company to company. So by default, only 2 ledgers are there. By default, only 2 ledgers are there. Just check chart of accounts and then ledgers. Only 2 ledgers are there. The first is, these are the list of ledgers, but they are the again the groups. See, they are not a ledgers, they are the groups. So by default, cash and P&L, every company have 2 ledgers, that is cash and P&L. Okay, and then voucher types. Now what is the voucher types? Transaction types to be recorded. For example, I am having one entry, one transaction, that is cash to capital. So what kind of transaction is it? Cash to capital. So that's mean it is received. We are receiving the cash. So this is the transaction. This is the receipt type of transaction. And suppose we are purchasing. So what will be the entry? Cash to purchase. So what kind of transaction it is? This is payment. So the vouchers are what? Transaction types to be recorded. That is known as voucher type. Transaction types to be recorded. That is known as voucher types. Okay. So what is a contra? All the banks related entries are known as contra, banks and cash. Like for example, cash to bank. So that's mean what? We took the cash from my bank account. We extract the cash from my bank account. So that is cash to bank. And if we deposit it, we withdraw the cash from the bank account, the entry will be cash to bank. And if we deposited our amount to, if we deposited the cash to the bank, then the entry will be bank to cash. So these kinds of transactions are known as contra. So transaction types to be recorded are known as voucher types in Tally. So there are 22 voucher types in Tally. By default, 22 voucher types are in a Tally. Like for example, purchase. So what kind of transaction is a purchase? Purchase to cash. That is a purchase transaction. Right? And suppose purchase to cash, we cannot say is a payment. It should be the purchase because the transaction type is purchase. And the sales is what? Sales to cash. That is the sales transaction. So transaction types to be recorded are known as a voucher types in Tally. So by default, there are 22 vouchers. So from here, see what is credit note? Credit note means sales return. If we got the return from the customer, like the sales return from the customer, then we need to provide the credit note. Okay, so that is the transaction type is credit note. And what is the debit note? Suppose we return some, like we return to the party or to our creditor. We make returns to our party or to our creditor. So that is the debit note. So purchase return is known as a debit note. And credit note is what? Sales return is known as a credit note. And general is what? All the adjustment entries will be recorded in the general voucher. For example, suppose you depreciate the furniture. Okay, so what will be the entry? Depreciation to furniture. So it will be recorded in a general type of voucher. So some vouchers are like payment. Payment means what? Suppose the cash goes out for the, like we are like giving some payment to the party, our debtor, our creditor. So like Ram to cash. So the transaction type is payment. So these are some like kind of examples. So we will see one by one all kind of vouchers. So in the later session, we will see all types of vouchers. So there are 22 vouchers available in Tally. You can create, apart from this, you can create the another vouchers also. But the base vouchers are these. Okay. So these are the vouchers. Now currency, budgets, you can maintain the budgets also in a Tally, you can maintain the budgets also. Now what is stock groups? In an inventory master, the first option is given the stock groups. So you can create the stock groups also. collections name. For example, suppose I'm dealing with two kind of vehicles, four-wheelers and two-wheelers. So I can create two groups of stocks. One is four-wheelers and second one is two-wheelers. So this is known as groups, collection, okay, collection type. Then stock item. What is the stock item? So for example, I created the group that is four-wheeler. And in a four-wheeler, I'm dealing with Maruti car also. I'm dealing with like Honda car also. So this is what? This is our stock item. Fine. And then stock category also. You can categorize this. In the case of medicines, you have to categorize the stock. So you can create the category also. Now what is the unit? What is the unit? Measurement units. Measurement unit. For example, how many number of students attending the seminar? How many number of students listening carefully? So number is what? That is the measurement unit. Okay. How many packets I am having of biscuits? So packets are what? That is measurement unit. Okay. How many kilograms I am having of like some item? So kilogram is what? Measurement units. Kilogram, gram, tons, packets, numbers. These are the measurement units you can create. Fine. And then go down. Storage places of your items is known as go downs. By default in a tally, there is a one default location that is named it main location. Tally named it main location. So these are the different types of accounting master and inventory master. So like while like doing the practical, please remember these things. Okay. Now see from here, after like master creation, that is there is another option that is alter. So after creating, you want to alter something. So you can alter. Alter means changes. Okay. You can alter the masters or ledgers from here also. Chart of accounts. These are the default groups, ledgers. Like for example, I already shown you. 28 groups are there. Ledgers. These are the same groups. Presently, I'm not having any kind of ledger, but by default, two ledgers are there. That is profit and loss and cash account. Okay. Now, the third is voucher types. By default, 22 voucher types are there in Tally. Voucher types is what? Transaction types to be recorded. Now, currency. By default, a single currency is there. That is rupees. You can create the more than one currency, and then after creating the currency, you have to give the conversions also. Fine. And then budgets. You can create the budgets. What is budget? Projected approximation of your income and expenditures are known as budgets. Scenario. Okay. These can be created. Stock groups, collection type. Then items, whatever the items you are dealing, that is stock items. Categories, you can categorize the stocks in the different categories also. Units, measurement units. Right, measurement units. Units means measurements. Like for example, in terms of computers, hard disk, 500 GB hard disk we are having. So GB is what? Measurement unit of computers. So bit, byte, kilogram, gram, numbers, packets, these are the measurement units. And go downs are what? Storage places. That is known as go downs. Fine. So these are the masters. Now after master, there is an option of transactions. What kind of vouchers you want to record? You want to pass the entries. So you have to click on the vouchers. Okay, and there are voucher types. See, they are the voucher types. You want to pass the contra entry, you want to pass the receipt entry, you want to pass the journal entry. So from here you can click. For example, press F6 for the receipt entry. See, here is a return, that is receipt entry. Press F5 for the payment entry. Here is a payment. For press F7, you can pass the journal entry. So these are the different ways to enter the entries, different kind of vouchers. This is day book. What is day book? It is a report of a day. In a day, how many entries you passed? So that will be recorded in a day book. From day book, you can check how many entries you passed in the particular day. So that is the day book. Day book is a report of the day. How many entries you passed, okay? How many transactions you have done. And then banking. In a banking, check printing you can do. Like check register, you have to maintain the check register. Post dated summary. How much PD you already like disbursed. Then deposit slips, payment advice, bank reco, that is again a very important in our field, that is BRS, bank reconciliation, and reports. Presently I don't see, here is a written no voucher entered. I only created a company, that's it. I am not having any kind of entry yet. Still I am not entered any entry. Still I'm like showing you the different like screens option. Okay, balance sheet I don't have anything, but it is giving me the format only. Like after like passing the entry, it gives me the balances here. It automatically pass the entries. There is no need to create the balance sheet or trading or P&L. Only pass the entry. Just pass the entry and then you will get all kind of reports. Then profit and loss account. Presently it's a blank. Stock summary. No stock summary I am having. Ratio analysis. Display more reports. Trial balance. These all are the reports. You can check the trial balance also. You can check the day book from here also. This is the another screen from here you can check the day book. Cash flow, fund flow, account books, all the account books will be generated automatically. There is no need to open the ledger, only need to create the ledger. Tally will automatically open the ledger. Okay, group summary. What is group? I told you na, that is accounting standard A's. All the A's, whatever you are having for trading, P&L and balance sheet, that is known as group summary. So from group summary like bank accounts, bank OCC, these are what? These are the different heads we used to write in the balance sheet or P&L. See, purchase account always shows in a trading account. Reserves and surplus, it will shows on a balance sheet. Retain any earnings, sales account, it was always shown in the P&L account. Secured loan for the balance sheet, the head is for the balance sheets. So these are the heads of the different reports. Bank accounts, this head is related to balance sheet. Bank OCC again related to balance sheet. This is again related to balance sheet. So you have to check the groups. What is groups? A, simple. For the final accounts, whatever the accounting standards we are having for the trading, for the like whatever the head you can say na, again the simple thing. Okay. Now next is group vouchers. All the vouchers we passed will be shown here in terms of groups. Okay. Now contra registers. Registers you like in like manual you are maintaining the register. Tally will automatically maintain your registers. Fine. All the registers are here. All the registers are here. Cash and bank book. Fine. So these are the like heads. Make sure ki it is clear all the things like what is create, what is alter, what is the difference between create and alter, and what is the difference between the masters and transactions. Masters are what? Again and again I am telling you the heads which comes under trading, P&L and balance sheet. Okay, and then again I can create groups and then ledgers. What is the difference between groups and the ledgers? Groups, every company groups are same. Because in every company, trading account contain the purchases. But it's not necessary every company should have the purchase ledger. Every company, maybe the company is service based company. Okay. Now the ledger should be different. Ledger can be different, but groups is always be the same. So make sure the screen is clear now. The gateway of Tally. So first you should create a one company. After installing the Tally, you should create a one company. Just install the Tally from the Tally Solution website. After installing the Tally, you will get this screen. And from this screen, you can create the company. Fine. So this is the introduction of the Tally. So make sure you understood all kind of things. And afterward, we will start the creating the company. For example, I already created the company. Now I want to enter the one, I want to create a one ledger. So how can I create the ledger? Create, then ledger, then capital account. And capital account, under which group it is. No matter what name you are typing here. I can type here the A's capital also. ICMAI capital also. Account. So name is not like matter, but the matter like the group should be correct. The group should be correct. If you are setting it under the capital, then it will be shown on the balance sheet. If we are setting it under the suppose direct income, that it will be shown in the trading account, credit side of trading account. And if you are setting under the duties and taxes, then it will be shown in the balance sheet, but under duties and taxes it will be appear. So name is not mattered, right? So no matter whatever the name is, but you should select the correct group. Group should be corrected. Fine. For example, I type there ICMAI capital and I select the under the capital and I enter the, these are the by default which Tally extracted from the, after like while creating the company, I select the state and the country. So it automatically extract the detail from there. I can type here the different name. This is again the mailing name. What is the difference between mailing name and name? The name which I am providing and the mailing name which I am providing, that will be the that will be printed on the reports. So that is the mailing name. Okay. So from here again I can provide here the opening balance also. But because my company is new, I don't have the any opening balance. So just leave it blank and no need to like suppose you are entering the balance, then no need to touch the CR or DR. It automatically takes, see it is taking CR because capital balance is always be in a credit side. Okay. So always be is a CR balance. So just I'm passing the 10 lakh rupees credit balance and I'm pressing the enter. After accepting, you can check the balance sheet. See the capital will be appear on the balance sheet. See. Now I'm having the balance capital of 10 lakh. And I say same thing, I can create the different ledgers from here. Under the group, you have to create the ledgers. So group is default created by the Tally itself. So they are what? They are the default heads which comes under the trading P&L and balance sheet. Fine. Okay. So now I'm ending this session. Make sure whatever I told you, just do the practice, just create a one company and check all the options which I told you. And from in the next session, we will pass some entries, we will create some ledgers and we will check the reports. Fine. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.